Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Before we get into everything, if you're new here, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below telling me what you think about Chiquita. And please, share this video with your fellow monsties because trust me, after you watch this, you're going to want everyone to know about it. Now, let's get into it. What if I told you that one of the most intimidating presences in 4th and 5th generation K-pop right now belongs to a girl who only trained for less than 2 years before debuting? What if I told you that her own label boss, one of the most notoriously hard-to-impress executives in the entire Korean entertainment industry, was so floored by her after just one single evaluation that he said out loud, on camera, she has no fear? And what if this girl was born in 2009, making her one of the youngest active K-pop idols on any major stage today? That girl is Chiquita, the magne of babymonster. And today, we are fully exposing exactly what makes her stage presence so terrifyingly magnetic, because it is not just talent. It is something far more specific, far more rare, and honestly, far more fascinating than most people realize. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will never watch a Chiquita performance the same way again. Her real name is Ruracha Fondachafafat, and she was born on February 17, 2009, in Nakhon Ratchasima, Thailand. She goes by the stage name Chiquita, and she serves as the vocalist, dancer, and magne of babymonster under YG Entertainment. Now, the word magne in K-pop typically carries this image of the adorable youngest member, the cute one, the soft one, the one the group babies and protects. But Chiquita completely destroys that stereotype the second she steps onto any stage. And that is the first thing we need to talk about. Here's your first hook, and this is the detail that most people gloss over. She was recruited in 2021 and trained for only around 1 year and 9 months before debuting with babymonster, which was the shortest training time of any member in the group. Now think about that for a second. The other members of babymonster had been grinding inside YG's training system for years, some of them for 4, 5, even close to 6 years. Chiquita walked in, trained for less than 2 years, and not only made the final lineup, she ranked 3rd in the final evaluation of Last Evaluation, the reality show that determined babymonster's debut lineup. 3rd. Out of 7 trainees who had been working toward this their entire teenage lives. That is not luck. That is not a coincidence. That is something built into her DNA. And YG's own executive producer, Yang Hyun-suk, confirmed exactly that. When Chiquita's introduction video was released, Yang Hyun-suk said directly, "She has no fear. I wanted her to be part of the project right after seeing her first monthly evaluation stage." He didn't wait. He didn't deliberate. He saw one performance and he decided immediately. He also openly shared that Chiquita's talent exceeded even the trainees who had trained for 5 to 6 years. That statement alone should tell you everything. This is a man who has built Blackpink, 2NE1, Big Bang, a man who has seen some of the most talented performers in modern pop history walk through his doors, and he is openly saying that Chiquita's raw talent surpasses people with years more experience. That is not marketing talk. That is a producer speaking from genuine shock. But here's where it gets even more interesting, and this is the part most analysis videos miss. According to those who observed her inside YG, the words most used to describe Chiquita are star quality, genius, and high potential. And despite being the youngest with the shortest training period, there were many surprising reactions even within the company as Chiquita grew at an incredibly fast pace. The staff inside YG, people who see and evaluate trainees every single day, were genuinely surprised by her. Not impressed in a routine way. Surprised. That tells you the growth rate they were witnessing was something outside of what they normally see, even in a company that is specifically built to identify and develop elite performers. Now let's talk about what this actually looks like on stage, because that's the real conversation here. An important part of Chiquita's role, especially during babymonster's earlier releases, was to quickly and strongly capture the listener's attention at the very opening of a song. Many domestic and foreign content creators and commentators noted that Chiquita has the best swag among the members, and Yang Hyun-suk himself said that she has the power to capture the public's attention from the very first second. She is the one they open with. She is the one designed to grab you by the collar in the first 3 seconds before you have a chance to look away. And she delivers on that every single time. At the babymonster Love Monsters Asia Fan Concert 2025 in Bangkok, reviewers specifically noted that Chiquita was a natural scene stealer, with her energetic performance and sharp facial expressions consistently pulling the audience's focus, even among a group of equally talented and powerful performers. Think about how difficult that is. She is standing next to members like Hyun, who is praised industry-wide for her vocal range and versatility, and Ruka and Asa, who bring a fierce rap energy that the entire crowd feels. And yet, multiple independent reviewers kept pulling focus back to Chiquita. That is not an accident. That is stage command, and it is extremely rare to see it this developed in someone so young. Let's also be real about the visual dimension, because it cannot be separated from her stage presence. When Chiquita's debut teaser photos and performance video for Batter Up were released in November 2023, the 14-year-old immediately sparked massive conversation for her striking, mature visual, featuring darker makeup and a bold black and red outfit that many described as having an idolesque quality that felt far beyond her age. People were genuinely thrown off. They expected the youngest member to look like the youngest member. Instead, what they got was a visual that could silence a room. Whether that styling was entirely appropriate for a 14-year-old is a separate debate that the K-pop community had loudly, but the undeniable fact is that the world stopped and paid attention. And that reaction, that inability to look away, is a key ingredient of what makes Chiquita so intimidating on stage. Now here is where her background comes into play in a way that most people underestimate. Blackpink's Lisa is Chiquita's biggest inspiration. This is not casual fan admiration. Chiquita has spoken about Lisa influencing the way she thinks about performance, about presence, about what it means to be a Thai idol on a global K-pop stage. And it is worth noting that Lisa herself, during the Last Evaluation reality series, specifically praised Chiquita, saying she was especially impressed by her star quality on stage. Lisa, a woman who is arguably the single most globally recognized K-pop dancer alive today. She watched Chiquita perform and the word she used was star quality. When Lisa says that about you, the conversation is over. Yang Hyun-suk even publicly stated his personal hope that Chiquita would one day become just as popular as Lisa and practice global influence. Now, some fans pushed back on that comparison, arguing it puts unfair pressure on Chiquita to be the next something rather than be allowed to build her own identity entirely. And honestly, that's a fair point. Chiquita doesn't need to be the next Lisa. The more you watch her, the more you realize she is already becoming something entirely her own. What is the actual secret weapon? We've been building to this, so here it is. Chiquita's intimidating stage presence comes from a combination of things that almost never exist together in one person at this age. It is the fearlessness that Yang Hyun-suk identified on day one, a complete absence of hesitation when she is in performance mode. It is the speed of her growth, the fact that she absorbed years of training in months, which means she is processing and applying information at a rate that is simply different from most people. It is the instinct she has for capturing attention, not through excess or overperforming, but through precision, knowing exactly when to hit hard and when to hold back. And it is the duality, because off stage, Chiquita is genuinely, warmly, enthusiastically a teenager. She loves plushies, her favorite movie is Mean Girls, she is obsessed with buldak ramen, and she is endlessly affectionate with her babymonster members. But the moment the music starts, something shifts. And that shift is what makes audiences across Asia stop breathing for a second every time she opens a song. At babymonster's first world tour, Hello Monsters, at the KSPO Dome in Seoul, Chiquita performed a solo stage of the song, Traitor, and after the show, she shared that performing in a full concert had been a dream of hers for a long time and that she was so happy it finally came true. And yet, when you watch the footage, there is no nervousness. There is no first big stage energy. She performs like someone who has already done this 1,000 times. That fearlessness that Yang Hyun-suk named at the very beginning, it was not a phase. It is who she is. Babymonster is still finding their full identity as a group, and the K-pop world is still figuring out exactly where they fit in the landscape. But one thing that is not in question is Chiquita. She is, without debate, one of the most captivating young performers in the industry right now. And the terrifying part, for every other group, for every other label, is that she is still growing. She is still only 16 years old. What happens when she has 5 more years of experience? What happens when she has full creative freedom and a stage built entirely around what she does best? The intimidation factor right now is already at a level that makes people stop scrolling. In 5 years, it might be genuinely historic. That is the secret weapon. Not a trick. Not a concept. Not styling or choreography alone. It is an innate, uncoachable, Yang Hyun-suk approved fearlessness that turns a stage into her territory the moment she walks onto it. And now you cannot unsee it. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, honestly, thank you so much. It means everything. If you learned something new about Chiquita today, or if this changed the way you see her performances, please hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we go deep on K-pop's most fascinating stories right here. Share this video with any monsties in your life, or honestly with anyone who still underestimates what babymonster is building. And drop a comment below. I want to know, what is your favorite Chiquita performance moment? Let's talk about it. See you in the next one. Annyeong.